Young man reconnects with family, 10 years after being kicked out, unbeknownst to them. He's a millionaire. Alex was a young dreamer, always full of ideas and eager to explore the world beyond the small town where he grew up. At 18, he was convinced that his destiny lay far from there, in a place where he could fulfill his dreams of greatness. However, his family did not share this vision. His father, Jack, was a strict and traditional man. "Life here is good, Alex. You have everything you need," he would say. But Alex felt suffocated. "Dad, I want more than this. I need to find my own path." The tension between them increased day by day, until one night, after a particularly heated argument, Jack issued an ultimatum: "If you walk out that door, don't come back. Your stubbornness has no place here." Alex looked at his mother, Mary, who was holding back tears. "Mom, I love you, but I have to go." And so, with a backpack and a heavy heart, he left the home he had known since childhood. In the first few days, Alex wandered the streets of the big city. With little money and many uncertainties, he spent nights in shelters, sharing space with strangers, but always keeping his dream alive. He worked menial jobs, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, anything to get some food and shelter. Despite the difficulties, Alex never let himself be discouraged. He knew that each small obstacle was just a step towards his goal. One night, while delivering newspapers, he met Charles, a middle-aged businessman who saw something special in the determined young man. Charles offered Alex an opportunity in his small tech company. "I see a spark in your eyes, kid. I believe you can go far." Alex grabbed the chance with both hands, dedicating himself entirely to the job. This opportunity was the turning point in Alex's life. He excelled in the company, always eager to learn and improve. Within a few years, his skills and dedication led him to start his own tech startup, which quickly became a huge success in the tech market. Suddenly, the young man who barely had a place to sleep was one of the city's most promising entrepreneurs with a considerable fortune. But despite the success and material comfort, something was still missing in his life. This sense of emptiness constantly reminded him of the roots he had left behind. 10 years had passed since Alex left home. He had transformed completely, both in appearance and spirit. The insecure and helpless young man was now a confident and successful man. His company had grown exponentially, and he amassed a fortune he never thought possible. One day, while reading a newspaper, Alex came across a story about his hometown. An economic crisis was affecting the region, and many families were struggling to survive, including his own. A sense of responsibility and nostalgia overcame him. It was time to go back, but not as the young man who was kicked out, but as someone who could make a difference. Alex knew it wouldn't be easy. His family didn't know about his success, and he had to find a way to help without revealing who he really was. He decided to return anonymously, buying a house in a neighboring town and disguising his identity with simple clothes and a more modest appearance. Upon returning to the town, Alex saw how everything had changed. The park where he used to play was deserted, and the shops that once thrived were now closed. His heart sank at the sight of the town, and he felt even more determined to do something. Alex started getting involved discreetly with the community, helping with local projects and offering financial support under the pseudonym Mr. Smith. He used his knowledge and contacts to boost small businesses and create job opportunities, always keeping his true identity a secret. During one of these visits, he met his mother, Mary, at a community fair. She looked older, with lines etched by hardships, but still had that sparkle in her eyes. Alex felt a lump in his throat but knew he couldn't reveal his identity. He approached her as Mr. Smith, and they talked about the town's situation and its difficulties. Mary shared her concerns and mentioned Alex with sadness. "My son left 10 years ago. We haven't heard from him since. Sometimes I wonder if he's okay." Alex held back tears and responded gently, "I'm sure he's okay, Mrs. Mary, and maybe he'll return someday." These words were a comfort to Mary, but for Alex, they were a silent promise. He was there to help and perhaps one day reveal himself to his family. But for now, his mission was to restore hope to the community, while dealing with the whirlwind of emotions his return was causing. Days in the small town flew by for Alex, who continued his work disguised as Mr. Smith. Each day brought new opportunities to help people, but also the challenge of remaining anonymous while getting closer to his family and childhood friends. One afternoon, while attending a community meeting, Alex reunited with an old friend, Luke. They had been inseparable as kids, but life had taken them on different paths. Luke now worked as a teacher and was also involved in efforts to revitalize the town. "Are you new here, Mr. Smith?" Luke asked, curious about the mysterious benefactor. "Yes, I moved here recently. I'm trying to help as much as I can," Alex replied, maintaining his disguise. Luke smiled. "The town needs people like you. I just wish Alex were here. He always had big ideas and a huge heart." Alex felt a mix of sadness and pride hearing those words. He wanted to reveal his identity to his friend, but knew it wasn't the right time. "I'm sure he's doing great things wherever he is," he said, trying to comfort Luke. Meanwhile, Alex continued to visit the places that marked his childhood. On one of these visits, he went to the house where he grew up. It was visibly worn down by time and economic hardship. The sight of the house brought back a flood of memories, both good and bad. As he approached, he saw his father, Jack, in the yard, fixing a broken fence. Jack looked older and tired, the hardness in his expression softened by years of struggle. Alex took a deep breath and decided to approach. "Good morning, sir. Need some help?" Jack looked at him with suspicion. "Who are you? And my name is Smith. I'm in town to help the community. I saw your fence needs repairs and thought I'd offer my help." Jack hesitated, but eventually accepted. While they worked side by side, they exchanged few words. The silence between them was heavy, filled with unspoken feelings and repressed memories. Alex wanted to tell the truth, but the memory of his father's ultimatum was still fresh in his mind. Later that evening, Alex met Mary again. She was serving soup at a community kitchen. "Mr. Smith, it's a pleasure to see you again," she said with a kind smile. "Nice to see you too, Mrs. Mary. How's your family?" Mary sighed. "We're getting by, but it's tough. The town has changed so much since my son left. I would give anything to see him again." Alex held her hand, feeling the pain in her words. "He will return, Mrs. Mary, I'm sure of it." Mary smiled, squeezing his hand. "Thank you. Your words bring hope." Alex left with a heavy heart, knowing the time to reveal his true identity was approaching. But there was still much to be done, and he wanted to ensure his family and the town were in a better position before facing his past head-on. The days passed, and Alex's presence in the town, under the guise of Mr. Smith, continued to make a significant difference. Small businesses were thriving again, and people were beginning to hope for a better future. Alex felt it was time to take the next step and plan his reveal to the family. He decided to organize a large event in the town, a community festival to celebrate recent achievements and bring the residents closer together. The festival would also be the moment when he would finally reveal his true identity to his family and friends. Alex worked tirelessly on the event's organization, ensuring every detail was perfect. Meanwhile, he continued to interact with Mary and Jack. Each interaction with his parents was an emotional challenge, as he had to hide his true self while trying to reconnect with them in some way. During one of these visits, Alex noticed his father was getting sick. Jack coughed frequently and seemed more fragile each day. "You should see a doctor, sir," Alex said, concerned. "Don't worry about me, Smith. I've got more important things to worry about," Jack replied, trying to hide his weakness. Mary, on the other hand, was visibly worried about her husband's health. Alex felt an even greater urgency to reveal his identity and help his family in every way possible. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. The town was buzzing with excitement, and all the residents were eager to participate in the celebration. Alex ensured there was music, food, and activities for all ages. It was a moment of joy and unity, something the town hadn't experienced in a long time. On the main stage, Alex was prepared to give his speech. He looked out at the crowd and saw his parents, Mary and Jack, in the front row, smiling and enjoying the event. He took a deep breath and began to speak. "Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here today, celebrating with you the achievements of our community. When I came here as Mr. Smith, I didn't expect to find so much support and unity. You are the true strength of this town." Alex paused, feeling the emotion overwhelm him. "But today I want to share something with you, something I've kept for a long time. I'm not just Mr. Smith. My real name is Alex." There was a silence in the crowd as everyone processed the information. Alex looked directly at his parents, who had expressions of shock and disbelief. 10 years ago, I left this town in search of my dreams. I faced many hardships, but also found success. Today, I'm here to help and to reconnect with my family and friends." Mary covered her mouth with her hands, tears streaming down her face. Jack seemed torn between joy and disbelief. Alex stepped off the stage and approached them, feeling the weight of each step. "Mom, Dad, I'm sorry for all the pain I caused, but I'm here now, and I want to help fix everything." Mary hugged him tightly, crying with happiness. "My son, you're back. You finally came back." Jack hesitated for a moment, but then hugged him too, his emotions finally overflowing. The crowd applauded, and Alex felt a wave of relief and happiness. He knew there was much work ahead, but for the first time in many years, he felt truly at home. In the days following the festival, Alex and his family underwent significant changes. The revelation of his identity was the first step in rebuilding the bonds that had been broken so long ago. However, there were many feelings and memories to confront. Alex decided to spend more time with his family, seizing the opportunity to get to know them again, and for them to know the man he had become. The conversations with his mother, Mary, were long and filled with stories and recollections. She wanted to know every detail of the years he had been away. "How did you survive, Alex? I always wondered where you were and if you were safe," Mary asked one afternoon while they sipped tea on the porch. "It was tough, Mom, but I met good people along the way. Charles, a businessman who believed in me, gave me a chance. I worked hard and gradually things started to improve," Alex replied, holding her hand. Mary smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "I always knew you had a strong spirit. I'm so happy you came back." Meanwhile, his relationship with his father, Jack, was still a delicate matter. Jack was a man of few words, and the rigidity that marked his behavior was still present. However, Alex noticed small changes. His father seemed more willing to listen and share moments together. One morning, while they were repairing the fence they had fixed before, Alex decided to try a deeper conversation. "Dad, I know many things were left unresolved between us. I wanted you to know that I'm sorry for everything." Jack paused for a moment, looking into the distance. "I made mistakes too, Alex. It was hard for me to accept that you had to follow your own path, but I'm proud of who you've become." These words, though few, meant a lot to Alex. He knew that complete reconciliation would take time, but felt they were on the right track. In addition to reconnecting with his family, Alex continued his efforts to revitalize the town. He invested in small businesses, created training and employment programs, and founded a community organization to ensure progress continued. One day, while visiting a new school funded by his foundation, Alex met Luke. The old friend now knew the truth and was incredibly happy to see Alex back and making a difference. "You've really made a difference here, Alex. The town wouldn't be the same without your help," Luke said, shaking his hand. "I'm glad I can give back. This place will always be my home, no matter where I go," Alex replied, smiling. As the months passed, Jack's health deteriorated. Alex knew his time with his father was limited and decided to make every moment special. They spent afternoons talking about the past, dreams and life lessons. Jack shared stories Alex had never heard about the sacrifices and challenges of raising a family. One of these afternoons, while watching the sunset, Jack held Alex's hand. "You brought hope back to this town, son, and to our family. I'm at peace knowing you're here." Alex felt a wave of emotions, mixing sadness and gratitude. "Thank you, Dad. I promise to keep taking care of everything and everyone." That night, Jack passed away peacefully, surrounded by family. It was a moment of pain, but also of unity. Alex and Mary, along with friends and neighbors, paid tribute to a man who, despite his flaws, loved his family and community deeply. With Jack's passing, Alex felt the weight of responsibility increase. He knew he needed to continue the work he had started and ensure his father's legacy was honored. The town now looked to him not just as a benefactor, but also as a leader. Alex and Mary began managing community projects together, and their relationship grew even stronger. Mary, despite the pain of losing Jack, found solace in the work and the constant presence of her son. They became an unbeatable team working tirelessly to improve the town's life. One day, while reviewing plans for a new community clinic, Mary brought up a subject that had been on her mind for some time. "Alex, have you thought about settling here permanently? The town needs you and you've built something incredible." Alex reflected on the suggestion. "I've thought about it, Mom. I love this town and everything we're doing here, but I also feel there's so much more I can do. Maybe expand our projects to other regions that need help." Mary smiled, proud. "I know wherever you go you'll make a difference, but know that we'll always have a place for you here." Alex decided to balance his responsibilities, spending part of his time in the town and part traveling to implement new projects in other needy areas. He wanted to ensure the spirit of solidarity and progress he had cultivated in his hometown could spread and benefit other communities. Luke, who had become a close partner in the projects, offered his help to keep the local initiatives running while Alex was away. "You can trust me to keep the work going here, Alex. We'll keep everything running smoothly." With this solid support network, Alex began to expand his philanthropic activities. He traveled to different regions, meeting new people and understanding their needs. Each project was a new opportunity to apply what he had learned and to continue his father's legacy. During one of his trips, Alex found a small town on the brink of economic collapse. The hardships reminded him of his own town before the improvements, and he felt compelled to help. He worked with local leaders, implemented employment programs and revitalized local commerce, using the same approach that had worked so well in his hometown. Upon returning home after several months, Alex was greeted with warmth and gratitude by the community. The improvements continued to thrive, and the town was more vibrant than ever. Mary and Luke kept everything under control, and Alex realized he had created a self-sustaining system. One night, while having dinner with Mary, Luke, and other close friends, Alex made an announcement. "I've been thinking a lot about the future. I want to keep traveling and helping other communities, but I also want to make sure everything here continues to thrive." Luke smiled. "You know you can count on us, Alex. We're all committed to the same goal." Mary held her son's hand. "We're all proud of you, Alex. Jack would be too." Alex felt a wave of emotions hearing that. He knew he was on the right path and that, with the support of his family and friends, he could continue making a difference. With his hometown thriving and his initiatives expanding to other regions, Alex found a new rhythm in his life. He spent weeks traveling to implement projects in needy communities and regularly returned to his hometown, where his presence was always celebrated. During one of his trips, Alex encountered a particularly complex challenge. In a coastal town, the local economy had been devastated by a recent natural disaster, leaving many families homeless and without livelihood. Alex felt an even greater urgency to help, remembering the hardships he faced when he left home years ago. He gathered a team of experts and began working on a comprehensive recovery plan. The first step was to provide temporary shelter for displaced families. Alex also worked with local organizations to provide food and essential supplies. But he knew this was just the beginning. While walking through the destroyed streets, Alex met Anna, a young mother struggling to care for her two small children. Anna's story deeply touched Alex, reminding him of his own mother and the difficulties they faced. He promised her that he would do everything he could to help rebuild her life in the community. "I'll do everything I can to help, Anna. You're not alone in this," Alex said, holding her hand. With renewed determination, Alex began implementing long-term projects to revitalize the local economy. He encouraged the creation of cooperatives of fishermen and artisans, providing training and resources so they could rebuild their lives and gain financial independence. The community's response was inspiring. People came together to help each other, and the spirit of solidarity flourished. Alex once again saw the power of unity and teamwork. Meanwhile, in his hometown, Mary and Luke continued to successfully manage the local projects. The town was flourishing and becoming an example of recovery and development for other communities. Mary often organized video conferences with Alex to stay updated on his progress and share ideas. "Alex, we're all very proud of what you're doing. Your vision is transforming lives, and we couldn't be happier to be a part of it," Mary said during one of these calls. "Thank you, Mom. I couldn't have gotten here without all your support." "I miss home, but I know I'm on the right path," Alex replied. As the international projects continued to grow, Alex was invited to speak at global conferences and events on community development. He became an influential voice in the fight against poverty and inequality, sharing his experiences and inspiring others to get involved in similar initiatives. During one of these conferences, Alex met Sophie, a young activist working on a similar project in Latin America. They exchanged ideas and realized they had complementary visions. Sophie was passionate about education and believed that knowledge was the key to sustainable development. "Alex, I think we can do great things together. If we combine our efforts, we can create an even greater impact," Sophie suggested. Alex saw an opportunity to further expand his reach and agreed to collaborate with Sophie. Together, they launched an education program that provided resources and training for teachers in underserved communities. The program quickly gained recognition and began transforming lives in various regions. Over the years, Alex continued to expand his work, always maintaining the values of collaboration, respect, and sustainability. He traveled to numerous countries, meeting incredible people and learning from each community he helped. Each project was a new opportunity to grow and make a difference. Although he was constantly on the move, Alex never forgot his roots. He returned regularly to his hometown, where he was always greeted with warmth and gratitude. The town, now a symbol of rebirth and progress, served as a reminder of what was possible when people united for a greater good. Alex was at the height of his philanthropic career, but like any great undertaking, he faced new challenges. The rapid expansions brought logistical and administrative complications that required constant attention. Additionally, the cultural diversity and different needs of each community required tailored approaches, something his team was always striving to perfect. One day, while at a conference in Asia, Alex received an urgent call from Luke. There was a problem in his hometown. A group of investors was pressuring to buy local lands to develop a large industrial complex. This initiative threatened to dismantle many of the community advancements that Alex and his team had achieved. "Alex, we need you here. The town is divided and many are scared of what might happen if these investors get their way," Luke said, worried. Alex knew he had to return immediately. The hometown was a symbol of everything he had worked for, and he couldn't allow the efforts to be destroyed. Upon arrival, he found the town in a state of tension. The residents were divided between those who saw the investors' proposal as an opportunity for jobs and economic development, and those who feared losing their community and environment. Alex called for a community meeting, something he hadn't done since the beginning of his journey as Mr. Smith. He needed to hear everyone's concerns and find a solution that would benefit the majority. The meeting was heated, with many debates and divergent opinions. "We need to think about the future. These jobs are necessary," argued one resident, "but at what cost? We'll lose our identity and everything we've worked for," countered another. Alex listened attentively, feeling the responsibility to find a fair solution. After hours of discussion, he presented a proposal. "What if we negotiate with the investors to ensure the development is sustainable and benefits the community without destroying our environment? We can suggest a project that balances both sides." Alex's suggestion was met with cautious optimism. He and Luke, along with other community leaders, organized a series of meetings with the investors. The negotiations were long and difficult, but they finally reached an agreement. The industrial project would be developed, but with strong commitments to sustainability and direct benefits to the community, including education and health programs. This experience further strengthened the bonds between Alex and his community. He realized that despite the challenges, unity and communication were essential to overcoming any obstacle. Alex felt deep pride for having protected his hometown and still provided growth opportunities. However, the global challenges continued. During a trip to Latin America to expand the educational program with Sophie, Alex faced another obstacle. An epidemic was rapidly spreading through a region where they had just launched an educational project. Schools were closing, and families were in panic. Alex and Sophie quickly mobilized their teams to provide medical support and necessary resources to combat the epidemic. They worked tirelessly, coordinating with local authorities and international organizations to ensure the communities received the needed help. The situation was critical, but the joint effort began to show results. Schools gradually reopened, and the community began to recover. Alex realized his mission went beyond building infrastructure. It was about being present in times of greatest need and supporting people in all aspects of their lives. After months of hard work, Alex returned to his hometown for a brief rest. He met with Mary, Luke, and other friends to reflect on the recent challenges and achievements. The conversation was light, but filled with gratitude and mutual admiration. "You keep surprising all of us, Alex. Your ability to face adversities and find solutions is inspiring," said Luke. Alex smiled. "I couldn't have done any of this without all of you. We're a team and everyone plays a crucial role." Mary, with a gleam of pride in her eyes, added, "You're living proof that with determination and unity, we can overcome any obstacle." Alex knew there was still much work to be done, but he was confident that with the support of his family, friends, and the growing network of global collaborators, he could continue making a difference. As the years passed, Alex's work reached unimaginable heights. He had become a global symbol of hope and resilience, transforming lives around the world. Despite his success, Alex never lost his humility or connection to his roots. At 50, Alex decided it was time to pass the torch to the next generation. He wanted to ensure his mission continued, but also wished to spend more time with his family and friends, enjoying the fruits of his labor. He called a large meeting with his global team and announced his decision. "The time has come to make room for new ideas and new leadership. I believe each of you has the potential to continue and expand our mission. I am extremely proud of everything we have achieved together," Alex said emotionally. The team, although surprised, was ready to take on the responsibility. Sophie, who had become an invaluable partner over the years, was chosen to lead the organization. Alex trusted her completely and knew he was leaving everything in good hands. After the transition, Alex returned to his hometown with the intention of settling there permanently. The town, now an example of sustainable and community development, welcomed him with open arms. Mary, now an elderly but still vibrant lady, was happy to have her son close. "You've done so much for the world, Alex. Now it's time to take care of yourself and enjoy life here with us," Mary said, hugging him. Alex dedicated his time to smaller local projects, teaching and inspiring young people to follow in his footsteps. He spent hours talking to students, sharing his experiences and encouraging them to dream big. Alex's home became a center of learning and innovation, where people of all ages came to learn and grow. One day, while walking through the town square, Alex found a commemorative plaque with his name, placed there by the community in his honor. He was moved, remembering his journey from the young man kicked out of his home to the philanthropic leader he had become. The plaque read, "In honor of Alex, whose heart and spirit brought light and hope to our town and the world." Alex looked at the plaque with a smile. He felt fulfilled, knowing he had accomplished his mission. But above all, he felt grateful for everyone who had been part of his journey. He knew the true legacy was not just what he had built, but the lives he had touched and the changes he had inspired. And so Alex continued to live in his hometown, surrounded by love and gratitude, a man who had turned his dream into reality and made the world a better place. His legacy would endure for generations, as a testament to the power of determination, unity, and compassion.